Hello, friends. It's lovely being back here to come and talk to you all. And it's nice that over the last few weeks, I've been able to talk to you about the way that I've developed in the sense of coming forward with spirit. I have spoken to you how I came into the movement. I have spoken to you about the way of the good old-fashioned pioneers, our good old mediums of years gone by, how strict they used to be. I've also spoken about how you should sit, how you should meditate, how you should go and develop in a true spiritual way. But today, friends, this is going to be my last live in the sense of talking about how I've developed. And I'm doing this because, you see, I'm not here to teach anybody out there how to do this, that, or the other. I'm here to share my experience. And I'm doing this, friends, in the hope that it will help someone along the way to come and work in a true spiritual way as it once was in the past. Now, friends, I'm going to talk about trance today. And the reason I'm talking about trance is because, you see, a lot of churches today don't want trance mediums. They don't want them because there's a lot of charlatans out there. And I've got to admit, I do agree. But then I've also got to admit, there's a lot of good, genuine ones out there. But you see, it's like everything in life. When someone sees something bad, they tar everyone with the same brush. And I've got to admit, I can understand where it's all coming from. Because you see, today, instead of sitting and developing in a true spiritual way and letting spirit take control, there's too much of the teaching. Too much of the teaching. And I've often said this, friends, the people that are doing these teachings and that costing a fortune for people to go into these groups to do it, they can help you, yes, by helping you to understand how to go into the depth, how to go into the deepness of meditation. But the one thing they cannot do, friends, which is the genuine part of it, they cannot teach you to work with the voice, with the work of the voice, because you see, it's spirit that has to learn to take control of your voice box, to work on the vibrations of the sounds of the voice. And you know, no one tells you anything about this. So today, in a few moments, I'm going to talk to you and explain to you how I came to become a trance medium. But I've got to put this first to you. If you talk to anyone within the ism today, there will only be a few that will understand this. They don't understand the difference between a trance medium and a transfiguration medium. I've gone to many churches and they'll say to me, where's your tent? Where's your red light? Well, I'm not a transfiguration medium. People say that they see spirits change my face. They see different faces come through. But you know, to become a transfiguration medium, I will tell you this, my friends, to become a transfiguration medium, the medium has to sit, and I don't care who hears me say this. Excuse me. I do apologize. I don't care who hears me say this. To go and do transfiguration, you have to sit for 11 years. You have to be dedicated. You have to sit with the same people every week. And that energy from them people, from spirits, all combined together. And slowly but surely, this is how it starts. But you know, you don't see many transfiguration mediums today because no one's prepared to put the time into it. No one's prepared to be dedicated. Now I'm coming back to the part of myself. And I know many of you will say, oh, it's all about him. Me, me, me. No, it isn't about me. It's about the way I was nurtured, how things developed in a natural way. And this can happen to you. This can happen to you if you're prepared to have patience, if you're prepared to give time, if you're prepared to trust in your helpers. My friends, I'm going to explain to you. I never sat wanting to be a trance medium. It wasn't something I wanted to do. But for years, I ran a circle at Vaughanway Spiritualist Church, Lee Circle Spiritualist Church. And then I'd have my home circle. And my home circle is where we used to sit, same people, week in, week out. And one day, as I was sitting and we was going into our meditation within the home circle, after I called everybody to time, they said to me, oh, Barry, you ought to have heard what Spirit said. Spirit came through you. They were talking through you. The words were so serene and so lovely. And I said, you what? They said, Spirit were talking through you. And I thought they were having me on. And I'm going to be honest, I thought they was having me on. And it went on for weeks. And I thought, oh, they're just boosting me up to give me confidence and all the rest of it. And then this particular day, one of the ladies, a beautiful lady, and I'll mention her name to the hills because she was a beautiful lady, Faye Davis. She said, Barry, she said at home, I've got a very sensitive tape recorder. It can pick up any sound. She said, so when I come next week, I'll bring it with me and I'll record everything. So the following week, we're all together. And I tell her and say, right, before we do anything, let's all go into meditation, not relaxation, not partially meditating, meditation. And we went deep, and we always did. We went deep. And we would do this for over an hour. And then I was brought back, and I started everybody else to come back as well. And as they did, they said, Barry, you ought to have heard what Spirit was saying. It was brilliant. It was fantastic. My words to them was, oh, yeah, we'll see in a minute, won't we, when you play the recorder. And they said, yes, you will. And they rewound it. And they played it. And this is what happened. When they played it, you could hear the opening prayer. You could hear somebody coughing in the group. You could hear the cars going up and down the road. You could hear children running up the road and laughing. You could hear the doorbell go next door. But you never heard a word from Spirit. So I turned and said, there you are, you see. I knew you were having me on. And they said, honestly, Barry, that is true. And that was on a Wednesday. On the Sunday, I went to a church in Nottingham. And I sat in the congregation. And a beautiful medium came up on the platform. And I sat at the back of the room with a friend. And she said, my friend, can I come to you, please? I said, thank you. She said, you're a trance medium, aren't you? I said, am I? She said, oh, yes, you are. Spirit are telling me you are a trance medium and you will have 5 helpers that will work with you. Well, I nudged my friend thinking she must have been an idiot. I'm not going to lie to you, friends. I'm being open. And we came away from the church and we were talking. And I came back home and I sat down and I thought, I'm going to get the answers from Spirit. I'm going to ask if I'm going to be a trance medium or not. So I went into my meditation, not a deep meditation, into meditation. And Spirit came to me and they said, we have been working with you for many years. We are ready now to take control. Put trust into us. Put trust into us. We will not let you down. We will not fail you. And I bless them and I thank them. And I'm going to say this to you sincerely, friends. I have always trusted my helpers. I have never, ever denied God nor Spirit because I know they would never do anything to harm me. And the following week, I went to that of a church in Derby. And I stood upon the platform. I can remember the opening prayer. I can remember the healing. I can remember the first hymn. But after that, I remembered nothing. And at the end, I felt someone tugging onto my jacket. And I came back. And as I came back, they said, it's time. And I thought it was time for me to start to do the work. And they said, no, it's time. We've had to call you to time. I said, well, I haven't done anything. Oh, yes, you have. Spirit came forward and they spoke through you. It was fantastic. It was brilliant. And I've got to admit, friends, when I came away, I was questioning. I was doubting. I was questioning and I was doubting. And this is 44 years ago. And anybody that comes to me when I go to a church and they're in the car or we're sitting having a meal, they'll all tell you the same thing. I question. I doubt. I pull everything to pieces. Did it go well? How did it go? Did Spirit do well? And I do all of this, not because I'm doubting Spirit, but I'm doubting me. And friends, I'm going to tell you how this works. And I'm going to put this to you. You've heard me say, you've got these people that want to teach you to be a trance medium. Well, I'm going to give you something for free. The only way you'll ever become a true trance medium is first of all, learning to go into the deepness of meditation. No, it's not easy. No, it isn't easy. It takes time. The first thing you've got to learn to do is learn to relax. And the more you relax, the more you feel at ease. The more you feel at ease, the more you are at peace, mind, body, and spirit. And it's why you're in that peace. That is when Spirit draw closer to you. And I'm sure, friends, many of you will agree with this. When you've come, when you've come out of your deep meditation and you go to speak, your voice sounds funny. The first thing you do is, excuse me. And that's the first thing you do. But my friends, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. Just continue working. You come out of trance. You're now starting to let your voice be controlled by Spirit. The more you do it, the more control they can take. And once they have taken control, you can switch very easy. You can switch very easy from just being in meditation to being into trance. By being into trance, letting spirit speak through you. The other day, we had a beautiful lady from Paris. She came to the group and she said she'd been sitting for trance and she didn't know how it was working. So we gave her the opportunity to come into our group, and she came and we gave all the support we could. She wasn't brilliant, but that lady was on the first steps of working with spirit, letting spirit take control. That's what it is, and she's been doing this for years. So friends, I'm going to explain to you. I sit before you now, and as I sit before you, when I go to do my demonstrations in trance, everyone seems to think I've got to sit on a chair and I've got to go into a deep meditation. And then when spirit comes through, I've got to do philosophy. And I've got to talk about Abraham Lincoln, sheer calm. No one wants to listen to that because no one understands it. So when you ask spirit to come forward to use you when in trance, you ask them to take control of you. And when I do my work, spirit take control. My helpers come through. I have that of Lavinda, Abraham, Safena. I have other helpers that pop in as well from time to time. And when they come, the way that I always start to allow spirit to come, I talk as we're talking now. And then as I'm giving the address, as I'm giving the philosophy, and no, it isn't sheer calm, I talk and I talk openly, but then I start to feel the energies of spirit coming stronger to me. And before I know where it is, I can sense them taking control, and my voice starts to change, and they take me into a deepness, and then I'm gone until the end of the service when they bring me back. And when they bring me back, it's the congregation. It's the congregation that comes to me, and they thank me for what has happened, because my helpers, when they take control of me, they bring your loved ones from the realms of spirit to you. They stand at the side of you. You feel their presence. You become very hot within yourself that you can hardly breathe. This is the energy of love that is brought from the realms of spirit, because the helper has helped your loved ones to come forward. And that is what it's all about. You know, I'm talking here to you, friends, and I'm going to be honest, I could allow my helper to come forward now, because I know that they're ready to speak, because I know that when spirit come forward, they want to talk to man of the earth. They do not want to talk to the vessel. The vessel is just there to be used. It is there to be controlled. To go to man, to help man to understand their loved ones are very close towards them. Many will question, is there a life beyond the living? Yes, there is. Life does not end when the body ends. Life is just beginning, because that is the time that the spirit within makes its journey. This is the time that your life begins. This is your time when you will find the truth of eternal life, will you go forward? Will you agree with your loved ones that come towards you? Will you feel you're happier? But you do know this, my friends, when your spirit takes the transition, it has the opportunity. It has the opportunity to return to the loved ones of the earth, to make them aware that they still live on. They are close towards them, because there is so much that is needed to be learned. The truth will only come from those in the realms of spirit, and the truth will only come from one that is used as a vessel that allows the spirit to come over. Yes, my friends, we do see what man is doing. We wish that we could interfere to alter the direction of what is, but we are powerless. We are powerless because you see, we cannot interfere with life, but we have the feelings. We have the feelings. And believe me, my friends, when I say we have feelings, we do feel the pain. When we see what man is doing, when we have spirit, we wish to help you. We wish to guide you. We wish to reassure you. But we are seeing more and more that are trying to control your life by telling you they can see what the future holds for you. That is not true. The future depends on you and you alone. Your destiny is already shown to you before you come to the world to live within life. And you have to aim towards your goals, towards your journey. Yes, there will be many that will falter, many will fall. But if they turn to the Spirit, their loved ones, they will pick them up. They will give them the guidance. They will give them the strength. And they will be able to continue their journey towards their goals within life. You see, there is so much to learn, my friends. But now I will step aside just to prove to you how we in spirit can use the vessel and use the vibrations of his voice. Because it is important to know these are not just words, these are not just words. These are the words of spirit. And this is the way we like to take control of the voice box you call, and none of the vibrations of yourself.
Hello, my dear. It is very important for us to come towards you. We in the realms of spirit, we love this vessel. We love to use him because he is one that is sincere. He is one that is dedicated. He is one that is open. And he is one that is willing to bring the fruit to man within life. I love this vessel. He is one that allows the spirit of truth to speak through him. And many follow him because you see, they too know the truth of spirit. They understand that what we have done over a period of time, we have taken the vessel and we have worked upon him. And when I say worked upon him, we in spirit, before we can come close to men, we have to know them inside out. We have to know everything about the physical body inside out. We have to get to understand of the physical mind that is within the brain of the body. You see, there is so much you have to learn. We in the realms of spirit, we do not just walk forward. We do not just sit upon the lap of the vessel and start to speak. We come close. And when we come close, we have to come into the body to open that of the third eye, mind. Then we have to take control of that, of the voice. Then we open the heart. We take the tension away from the tummy area. We open the solar plex and we open the base. This is what we do in spirit to come to you. But we come in truth because each and every one out there is searching for truth. And the only way you will find it is first of all learning to understand the truth of spirit, because man needs to let spirit come even closer to them. We see all, we hear all, but we cannot interfere. We wish we could, but you see, man has free will. And because man has free will, we cannot interfere. So we are very grateful. We are honored, we are privileged that we have found the vessel that is willing to open, to allow us to take control of him, to allow us to speak the words through him. And the words that we give is to help you to understand there is no death. When the body is no more, the spirit lives on, goes forward, greeted by your loved ones, your friends that have gone before you. You gather together, and all the pain, the suffering you have gone through within life is taken from you. You are happy within yourself. You will understand one day when you come into the realms of spirit. You will meet those that you have never seen before. First, you will see your doorkeeper, your powerhouse, and your mainstay. They are the ones that was born with you within life, and they stayed through your life, and now you will see them in your new. And then you go forward with the joy, with the happiness, knowing now this is my new beginning. Now, friends, can you see how we have used the vessel? How words can be spoken? How it can be done properly? Because you see, any man that puts on a voice, remember these words. They have been true for many years. You can fool people some of the time, but you cannot fool people all of the time. And that is what we are seeing. I know that I have spoken through the vessel. I know that also Lavinda spoke through the vessel. But now it's time to move ourselves away from the vessel, to bring him back to as he was, the loving, caring human being who gives his all to the realms of spirit and to man.
because it is important that each and every one of you knows the way the spirits work with you, the way that spirit can enter into your life, can enter in a true way. You see, friends, I've had people get in touch with me and they've said, Barry, we will pay you to teach us. And I've refused. I have refused. Because you see, I cannot teach anyone. And I've said this right from the word go. I cannot teach. I can nurture. I can help people. But when it comes to doing trance, you've got to, first of all, learn the most basic thing of all. Trust your helpers. Let them take control. Then you have got to learn how to go into that deepness. And when you've gone into that deepness and you're coming back out of yourself, when you start to speak, don't copy it. Don't push it to one side. Continue to speak. And when you do, the more you do it, the more they're controlling. The more they can control, the more they take over. And before you know where you are, words are coming out of your mouth and you're thinking, where has this come from? But it's the people that you're speaking to knows it's true from spirit, because the one thing spirit do, when they come forward, they speak in a way of words that no one else understands apart from the being that spirit are relating to. So friends, I've shown to you and I've spoken to you. If any of you want my advice, need some help, I'd be willing to talk to you. I will give anybody guidance whatsoever, as long as they're searching for the truth of spirit. Now, my friends, you know that this, as I said earlier, is my last life. Coming talking to you in the way that I was developed. But I'm going to say a few words to you that I hope you'll take as well. First of all, there's a young man called Kyle Anderson. He's a very talented young lad, and he's one that's helped me over the weeks and over the months and over the years to be able to work with the computer so that I'm able to bring the words of spirit towards man. He's a godsend to me. And he is one also that is a fledgling. He knows he's a fledgling. He's been sitting with me now, developing for 2 years. And he's doing very, very well. But remember, he's done 2 years. He knows, I know, spirit knows, he is not yet ready for the platform. I take him around to my churches. I ask him to sit on the platform or at a desk where we're sitting. I allow him to say a closing prayer. He can give messages. He's proven it. But I don't feel as though he's ready yet, because this young man, I want him to develop in the true spiritual way, taking his time. You have too many today that come into the churches. They sit in a circle. They do 6 months. They don't call themselves fledglings. They call themselves mediums. Never, never in a million. But I also will tell you this, friends. The churches all over are struggling. And they are struggling because, you see, they're finding it hard now to bring the people back into the churches, because of such things like this of Zoom. It's all right having Zoom. It's all right connecting with Zoom. But you know, you'll never get the same energies on Zoom as you would within the church. Please go and support your local spiritualist church. And for mediums out there, I'm going to say something to you as well. And I may offend some of you, but do I care? No, because I'm being open and I'm being honest. I've just said the churches are struggling, and they are struggling. Yes, we know mediums have to get the expenses to their petrol, for their petrol, not to get the petrol and then charge for doing the service. Do the service for free. And the reason I'm saying this to you is because you see, a lot of mediums are letting the churches down now, and they call themselves spiritual. I'm going to be honest, they call themselves spiritual, but they would rather do a Zoom where they don't have to go to the church, where they don't have to drive the car, and where they get paid for doing it by sitting at home. The churches need your help. Put yourself forward. Put yourself forward and say, I'll come and serve your church. Yes, by all means, please cover the cost. But I will do the service for free. Because you know the one thing that I'm going to say to you now is this. You know, friends, the Zoom won't last forever. And the churches are certainly closing. And you that call yourselves spiritualist mediums will have no churches to go to because you failed them. And at the same time, nobody will waste their time coming on Zoom. This is what's happening, friends. I've spoke today openly and honest. I know I'm going to get a lot of criticism, but I've done this for one reason and one reason only. The people that look at this live and listen to my words and listen to the way that I've been nurtured within spirit to speak openly and honest about spirit, they will take on board. They will take on board because you see, my friends, you look around and see what is needed at this moment is the most important thing of all. First of all, love. First of all, compassion. Then understanding. Then at the same time, look to the light of spirit and let spirit guide you. Now, friends, I've spoken as I am. I thank each and every one of you that have given me the support over the last few weeks. There will be other things, no doubt, that I'd like to do live. But at the end of the day, this has been my journey, and I've wanted to share it with you. And I want now for you to listen to what's been said, take on board, nurture, not teach, and let the congregation, let the people that come to you see that you are true to God, true to spirit. So I'm going to leave you, friends, from my heart to yours. I am going to say, God bless to each and every one of you. And again, thank you.